Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and a weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, I did finish the week with 11 wins and 3 losses for a win rate of 78.5%, a little below my weekly goal of 85%, but Friday was a tough day, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Now, Monday, Trade Ideas Room, I said, let's see, SPY calls over 643.50, which is up here, right there. I didn't post Monday on Twitter. Now let's see, I took puts at 958, which is right here. Okay, and I see why I did this. This was a very rangeful day. Did not do anything. It's stuck in a range. As soon as it broke lower day right here, I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 64.35 puts at 590. If I had to guess, they probably went to 650, maybe 7. Then I took calls at 133, which is right here, thinking we were going to break higher day. I probably should not have taken that. I took the 64.50 calls at 540. It pulled back. I got calls. I added to those calls at 141, which is right here, and then it dropped, and I ended up stopping out. So very annoying with this day. Very, very tight range, 644, $1.50 range. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Then on to Tuesday, I said SPY puts in the 642, which is down here. Let me back this out just a little bit. 642, which is this low right over here. First 10-minute candle was red. I took puts at 945. Yeah, right here, right when it broke below the body of this candle, I took the 64.35 puts at 620, and then went from 620 to 740. Didn't really get much out of it, so yeah, I'm glad I took the body there. I probably shouldn't have taken it all. Then I took puts at 1042, which is right here. I did not take calls. This was a stop on liquidity sweep from pre-market. All the liquidity is right up here in the 639. Well, make sure I get the right day. I got the wrong day. All right, here. Liquidity is right here, pre-market, so it swept the liquidity. Well, actually kind of swept it right here, I guess, but yeah, came back down and came back and met this high over here. I didn't take calls. I waited, but when it came back down underneath 642.50, I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 64.40 puts at $7, and they went from $7 to 13 plus right there in that drop. Then I grabbed puts again at 1141 right here on this bear flag. I get a tail candle right here, and it looked like it was going to reverse, but yeah, it was still a flagging. And when I got underneath the tail candle, body of the tail candle right around the 641.20, that's when I grabbed the 64.25 puts at 690, and they went from 690 to 950 on that play right there. So yeah, it was a good day, just stuck to the downside. This just ended up being a fake out. You gotta watch for those. They've been happening a lot lately, especially those like real strong moves out of nowhere that end up being like chasing moves or sucker moves or whatever you want to call it, and they end up going the other way. You gotta be careful of those. Now on the 20th pre-market Trade Ideas Room, I said SPY calls over 640, which is up here. It didn't see it rejected this area 639.55 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and it just dumped. But I did grab puts at lower day. No, I didn't. Hold on, let me get to the right day here. Yeah, I did on the 20th, lower day. I grabbed puts on Tuesday and Wednesday at 9:45 at the same time. Crazy. But anyways, yeah, as soon as I broke lower day, I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 63.80 puts at 7:10. And they went from 7:10 to $24 plus on that massive drop. I was not expecting that, especially on FOMC day. Minutes, no Powell. Then I grabbed calls at 12:12, which is right here. I didn't want to try to fish for the bottom. I probably could have used that advice on Friday, but for fishing for the top. But anyways, didn't want to grab calls right here. I wasn't sure, and it came up to VWAP, went up to the blue line, which is 20 EMA, rejected, came under the VWAP, but quickly came back up. As soon as I get over the 636.35-ish area, that's when I grabbed calls. I grabbed the 63.85 calls at 610. I went from 610 to 1190, so that ended up being a really, really good play. Then the last play I took was FOMC. I took it early. I always take them about half an hour ahead of time because usually you get a pre-market run-up. So I grabbed the play right, what time? 1:28, which was right here. This is where I grabbed the FOMC play. I grabbed the 63.75 puts at $6, and I grabbed the 63.85 calls at $5. And this was, like I said, at 1:28, which is in this candle right here. Well, SPY popped right here. So those calls went from $5 to 13. As soon as they went over 100%, I took them. I mean, it just, to me, it seemed like an obvious play. You're up 100% before FOMC. FOMC could be a dud. Not much could happen. So when you're up 100%, I took it. And pretty much the play was pretty much free. And it started to pull back a little bit. Then we hit FOMC. Not much really happened at first. And it finally dumped, like after a few minutes. And those puts I had at $6 ended up going from $6 to $9.90. So I had a pretty big size win on both sides of this. If I didn't take FOMC till like right here, I would not have paid on the call side. Maybe over here might have, I don't know, but I would have just had a good play on puts. The call side I'm not quite sure because of theta. But anyways, me taking here turned the FOMC into a really, really good play. So I'm glad I took it early. It's something I've been doing lately, but last year I would wait 5 minutes till 2 o'clock before taking it. But we've had so many massive pre-FOMC run-ups that I took it. So then on to Thursday, trading his room, I said SPY puts into 635, which is down here, rounded down. I took puts at 946. First 2 minute candles red, but it's a tail candle. But as soon as it broke 635, I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 63.45 puts at $8, and they went from $8 to $10.50. I remember this play because I got a bad fill. I didn't want to pay $8. I just missed the play. I missed the initial break, and I kind of chased it down here a little more and paid more than I wanted to. But whatever, it is what it is. Then I took puts at 11.12, which is right here. Made new high day, rejected 200 EMA. Didn't really go too far, but came back down, bounced off VWAP, made a lower high. But when it came to VWAP again and got underneath 636, that's when I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 63.60 puts at 650, and they went from 650 to $9 in that play. And then it bounced up, failed to make new high a day, but came back down to 636. And this is where I grabbed puts again. I didn't grab the same ones. I grabbed the 63.65s before I had the 63.60s. Now when I got underneath 636, I grabbed the 63.65 at $7. And they went from $7 to $11.50 on that play right there. So that ended up being a good play. Now, I don't know why I didn't post anything in the traders room on Friday. I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't, but it is what it is. First play I took was now this is the play I had. Yeah, 2 losses and 1 win. The first play I had was I had SPY puts at 946, which is in this candle. I remember this, it ran up pre-market, in the pre-market. The first open candle was like $2 when it came up here, right around the 639.50. It rejected a little bit, so I decided to take a chance and grab puts. I grabbed the 63.50 puts at 820, and they ended up going to $10 plus, because I remember that, because I ended up selling over 10. Then we had Powell, Jackson Hole, which rocketed up, and I took a chance, and when we had this tail candle right here, and once to get under 644, I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 64.20 puts at 770. Only grabbed a couple just in case, because usually when we have these monster candles, we end up giving half of them back, but we didn't, and Powell just was hinting towards rate cuts and stuff like that. The market just went crazy. Not what I expected. Didn't give any of it back. I mean, I gave it a little bit back and just ripped back up. So I tried to fish for the top again at 11:14. I grabbed puts right here, thinking that we were going to reject this area because we're wicking. We wicked a few times, and I had the 64.60 puts at 670. And then we just made new high day, and I cut it, because I remember saying in the room that if we don't drop here, we make new high day, I'm going to cut it. And those 64.60s I had at 670, I ended up cutting right there. Then it finally did drop, but didn't really drop that much. But I shouldn't have fished for the top. I should have just waited or not played it. But I figured with this tail candle here, getting under 644, we would give some of it back, because the market's been on hype all week long about getting another rate cut, and the market just has so much hope on rate cuts. It's ridiculous. It can rage $20 on the hopes of a rate cut. Then if someone hints on a rate cut, it will go another $10. It's just really, really crazy how much the market has so much hopium on a stupid rate cut. I don't think we're going to get any, to be honest. I think he just said what Trump wanted to hear, and I don't think we're going to get it. I don't think the numbers support it. So yeah, that's the week. Friday kind of sucked. I should not have tried to fish for the top, and it is what it is, but should have been a little more patient, but whatever. Thanks for watching, and that's going to do it.